Hey everybody, it's almost 10:30, Saturday, December 1st. I'm at work, I'm on a break. Actually, you know what? Before I look at those, I'm gonna check here. So these are all less than 24 hours. Alright, I'll come back to those. I want to make sure I always attend to this game every day. It is a one-day timeout. I typically don't play one-day timeouts. I play 10, 7. I'll play 3, but even that I don't like. It's not that it's too quick. I mean, when I used to play a lot more correspondence chess, it did become a little unmanageable. But I just prefer, slightly slower games. Excuse me. Now here's what I'm hoping my opponent does, because this would be a mistake, because this would let me win his rook. Oh wow, and in this case his bishop and a checkmate. So yeah, that's the plan, Stan. Now, of course, he can interpose with his bishop at e2 because my knight has that square covered, and I'll just deliver a checkmate again. I think it would be a checkmate in 2, but it would still be a checkmate enforced. The volume's up. It's a pretty good move on his part. I gotta give him some credit. It doesn't look like I excuse me, it doesn't look like I have any outs, so I'm gonna have to exchange my rook for a bishop. Not ideal. Now he could get creative and sacrifice his bishop, taking my pawn at e3. If I capture back with my pawn, f takes e, the knight takes the pawn at e3 then and forks my queen and my rook. However, let's look at that. So it looks something like that. It's actually even good at, you know what, I didn't see this. So say, right, we take the rook, but he can also pick up a knight, but then I would take his knight, and then he takes the rook, and he's still up 3 points. So looks like that doesn't work out good for me. However, I do like this. I like that very much. So at least that prevents him from castling kingside. And now if he takes with the king, he can't castle at all in this game. Or that game. Well, it's the same opponent. Just a different game. I thought I had something to follow this up with. Right. This move. Yes, it's an excellent move. If he blunders, he may lose his queen. Okay. So I'm going to move my queen to c6, intending to play queen takes g2 checkmate on the next move. He can interpose simply by pushing his pawn to f3. Getting a knight in the way won't really help because I have a pawn at f5. So let's see how this pans out. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to bring my a-file rook to the d-file at d1. My next move will be knight takes e5. He can't capture back with the pawn at d6 without losing his queen. However, he could bring his rook that's on the f-file over to the e-file by playing rook to e8. That would be a pretty good way to defend. Oh, you know, I'm just thinking about that game. I wonder if he has a fork on my queen and rook. No, he doesn't. My bishop has that cover, that's right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give up one pawn. I certainly have the ability to do so, being 12 points ahead. Okay, I need to bring my rook to the 8th rank and try to hold off his pawn that wants to promote on the h-file. Do something simple here. I'll then follow that up by pushing the h-file pawn to promote at h8. That looks pretty good to me. Pretty much obliged to take the rook. Minimize my losses as best I can. I blundered away my queen in that game. It happens, even to the best of us. Not saying I'm one of the best, but I know my way around a chessboard. I'd really like to push my pawn to c4, hoping he takes it, but he most likely won't. But it's still a good idea, in my opinion. It's the English opening. I play the King's English defense. I do recommend that. I'm just going to get the queens off the board. It's going to simplify things just enough, I believe, for me to castle simply. Okay, so this is a bit of a mistake in my opinion. I can pin the bishop against his king. His best move, in my opinion, would be something like king to f1, unpinning the bishop. But I'll probably go ahead and make the exchange anyway. It's going to be even exchange. Bishops and rooks off the board. Still a tricky game. Yeah, that was a great move on his part. Very good move. Like I said, this guy plays much stronger than 1382. Ooh, what happened here? Oh. Look at that. I thought I was going to win the queen. Well, exchange queens. I neglected to see his rook. That's unfortunate. Another blunder. I must have been having a bad day yesterday when I made that move. See if I can make something from it, though. Okay. So I really need to bring my rook here. Because if I bring it to the B file or leave it on the D file, he can fork the rooks. I would capture with the bishop, then he'd take that bishop and fork the rooks again, since both his knights are covering the square at C3. Okay, I only have a few minutes left. I think I'm going to start pushing my D-file pawn. Good move, good move. Very nice move. Okay, so I'm going to take with the queen and threaten checkmate by taking, by playing queen takes g2, checkmate. So he would be obliged, if, in my opinion, to exchange queens here. Oops. Alright, let me make one move here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give check, a discovered attack, discovered check from my bishop at d6, and I'm going to take that pawn at b5 on the next move. Alright, I'll look at this one later. See you guys on the next break.